was it my wife's? I think it was my wife's birthday. And she went to spend the day with some friends and her mom and do all this stuff. And Renly's numbers were kind of shaky. And this was before he had the pump. So we were letting him give himself his own shots, which really, in hindsight, wasn't a good idea. Oh crap, that's not what I meant to do. Anyway, and I think he gave himself too much, and I was in the bathroom and I heard a thud on the floor, and which
had dinosaur Triss on the Triss seat.
Because if you remember Renly, he's rambunctious, and sometimes he just falls down, or sometimes he'll just fall out of his chair. That's just a normal. But it was a louder thud than usual, and I yelled out from the bathroom, "Is everything okay?" And Cooper really wasn't paying attention, but he said, "Yeah, Renly just fell out of the chair." So when I got out of the bathroom, I came in here and he's laying on the floor, which, okay, he's playing around. So I nudged him with my foot and he didn't move. And I like in my stern dad voice, "Okay, Renly, that's enough." And he didn't move. So I flipped out, he was out. And what happens, he fell out of the chair and his head either on the desk or on the bookcase next to it. He hit his head. And I got him to wake up a little bit, and he's, all of this. So I'm like, oh, shit. So I called 911 and I tried to get him to drink some Kool-Aid and all that, and he wouldn't. And then he started throwing up. So the ambulance came and we took him to the ER. And to make a long story short, the doctor acted like we were out of our minds, letting him give himself his own shots, that he needs constant supervision. And that kind of pissed me off a little bit, because how old do you think you have to? I mean, he was 11. He's 11. He knew. Anyway, yeah. So he was all right. They gave, they did everything, but it was just the whole. Yeah, exactly. He should know, and he knows how to do all this stuff, and so it's okay. I won't mention names. Once there was this old lady. She was like in her 90s, and one of the families bought her a bar of chocolate. She ate the whole bar in an hour, and the nurse who walked to check her blood sugar panicked and was like, "Her BSL is 21," and she freaked out, but she was fine. Yeah. Yeah. I can imagine that. But yeah, it was anyway, he was in the office. I went in, put the pump on, because I have to measure out the insulin, put the insulin in the pump, get it to activate so it can prime and all that, then stick it on his arm, and then it's got to go through all this, and then puts the little thing in his arm, and he's good to go. But his numbers were already starting to come back down. I think something went wrong with the pump, and he didn't get enough insulin at breakfast, which was why it was so high. And he noticed that he was high, and he tried to give himself some insulin, and it didn't go through, and he knew it didn't go through. And that's when my wife realized that there was a problem, which normally we can't see his numbers at school because they have shitty internet in there. So we just have to trust that he, will notice and all that, because his phone will go off if he's high or if he's low or whatever, and he knows what to do. But like last year, the nurse was a lot more hands-on and texted my wife throughout the, my wife would text her his numbers and all that. She was a lot more hands-on. I mean, elementary school is a lot different, in middle school that they call it. When back in my day, it was called junior high school. Kind of scares me, kids self-administering insulin. Well, we feel better now that that's the pump. Yeah, now that he has the pump, we feel a little bit better about it because he never did that shit again. We did not let him do it anymore. We did it, either my wife or I would do it. But now that he's got the pump, which he hates the pump, I think it's just because it's one more thing stuck to his arm, which he could put it other places. But that's neither here nor there. But he doesn't like it, and he's constantly saying, when can I come off the pump? And it gives him so much more freedom, and it's better than having to go to the nurse at least once a day to get a shot for lunch and all that. And now we can check the school's, the school district's website to see what they're serving for lunch. And be able to know ahead of time if he's eating lunch at school, how many carbs is going to be in his lunch. And he's done it enough now that he knows he has to, bolus for that stuff. He has to include it, but we don't have them here because they're too expensive here. Oh yeah. They are pretty good. The only thing is they only hold 200 units, I guess, milligrams or whatever the measurement is of insulin. And I wish it held more because he has to change it every 3 days. We have to put a new pump on. But his Dexcom, the thing that just reads his blood sugar, that's every 10 days. So that's a little... Yeah, but, every 3 days. And for some reason, when that thing, injects the little needle or tube or whatever, and when he goes to take it does a number on his arm. It was worse than the shots. I'm constantly having to put Band-Aids because we switch arms. When he switches Dexcom, it goes on the opposite arm, and we try to do that as much as possible. But it always means at some point he's going to have both devices on one arm because he doesn't want it on his thigh. He doesn't want it on his side or anything like that. He is not having it. Eventually he's going to have to, but I just wish the pump held more. And what's great about it is there's an activity mode. So if he's in gym or, he's outside playing basketball or whatever, he can put it in activity mode and it knows not to give him as much insulin if he needs it because he's active. I don't know. I'm hoping that as time goes on, the technology will get better. Once my wife and I can have the pump app on our phones, I think we'll feel a little bit better because then we can kind of help him control it. But he does a really good job. Now, as the only real problem that we have is like with most 11-year-olds, he'll put his phone or his device down and walk away from it. Luckily, he only does that at home, but it's constantly, where's your phone? I don't know. So and then we're having to look for his phone, and it's kind of crazy. So let me tell you the story of my trip over there, because that was an adventure. Okay, Mondays are trash days around here. So when I pull out of my neighborhood, there's a trash truck blocking traffic. Okay, that happens. And there was already an issue with traffic this morning. So I'm like, fuck, still? So once, eventually the trash truck turns into a street, and I'm good. So I'm going up to the school, and I'm almost there, and I look, and there's a train. We have to cross over, and there's a fucking train. So I'm like, okay, but there is a way around it. I don't have to go through that particular intersection. I can turn left, go down a little ways, and the road crosses under the train track. It's like on a bridge. So I know I can get that way. Well, no, because one jackass at the intersection where the train is actually crossing decided I must turn right. I'm going to wait. So he waited for the whole train so he could make his fucking right-hand turn. So I got it in my head like I was, I got to get there as soon as possible. And I called my wife to not yell at her, but yell at her. I had to vent my frustration because I was, at this point, with everything going on, I was a little flustered. And I've got like a stress headache now, and I'm getting ready to take some ibuprofen. But yeah, it's really funny now that it's over. But when I'm like, okay, train, I'm going to wait. And I waited a few minutes. I'm like, I can go around this. So I make the left-hand turn and then realize traffic's backed up because of that asshole wanting to make his right-hand turn. And he waited, and he could have gone around. He could have just gone a little bit out of his way, but no, he has to inconvenience like 150 fucking people, or cars at least. And it's just, yeah. I said to myself I wasn't going to talk about that, but I was so flustered and worked up when I got there. And this is only their second full week of school. So I'm like, this is a little early to start having issues. But the secretary, I didn't deal with the nurse. I dealt with the school secretary, and she was so nice and very calming. So I'm like, okay. But I didn't get to tell her, don't ever fucking call my mother-in-law again. I didn't get to tell her that she was dealing with another student. I don't care if he's separated from an appendage. Don't ever call my mother-in-law again. Ever. I don't know if there will be any. And the frustrating part about that, freak, is that I won't have to deal with the aftermath. My wife will. And that's what makes me mad, because my wife won't tell me on purpose, so I don't like go and cuss my mother-in-law out, because I've done it before for, being a twat. So my wife won't tell me, but it's constant drama. It really is. And I guess I won't have to deal with the aftermath. She will. Because I can, like, oh, I know. She is the biggest pain in the ass. She lies about the dumbest shit. Stuff that you think, why would you lie about that? She lies. So the story that the other relatives are probably going to get is that she got an urgent phone call from the school and had to go and give Renly insulin at school. I mean, it'll be something fucking retarded like that. I'm sorry, I shouldn't use that word. I apologize. It's just fucked up like that. I shouldn't use that word, and I apologize. I'm sorry. I'll take the hit for that. Just don't cancel me. Why would she have to do that? There's a nurse there. Well, technically the nurse wasn't there. There's an elementary school across the street, and that's where the nurse was today. But she, if necessary, she'll go back and forth. But she didn't have like a new pump or anything. The best that she could have done is give him a shot, just a regular shot of insulin. And I'd have to put his pump on when he got home, which now is because it'll literally expire 3 days from the day, to minute and everything to when it was put on. So it's going to expire while he's at school or later on in the week. It's okay. We'll work around it. It has a 6 hour, what's the word I'm looking for? Like a leeway time or whatever. It will, as long as there's still insulin in it, it will still give him insulin for up to 6 hours after it expires. So it should fall into that range. So I think we'll be okay, but we try to not, put and it takes 25 minutes for it to sync up and start working, which is infinitely better than the Dexcom that measures his blood sugar. It takes 2 hours. So it doesn't actually start working for 2 hours after you put it on, but it expires to the minute that you actually put it on, not to the point when it actually starts working. So we have to make sure that it's after 4 p.m. before we put this stuff on, so it doesn't expire while he's at school. But yeah, my mother-in-law, Jesus Christ, man, like I said, she lies. She lies. She will lie about the dumbest shit. I can't wait to hear the lie she's going to come up with. Because one time, I can't remember what it was. We asked, this was a long time ago. And we asked to borrow some money. Not a whole lot of money, but a little bit of money. She reluctantly did. She let us, because if we needed to borrow money, we went to my father-in-law, because he wouldn't make a big deal out of it, and he wouldn't tell my mother-in-law. He was real cool about shit. How he stayed married to her as long as he did is beyond me. But that's that's beside the point. Anyway. A Niff. God almighty. Anyway, so like a couple of years later, my wife was talking to her aunt, her mother's sister, and she mentioned how my mother-in-law told her and a bunch of other people in the family that she was paying our bills every month. That she was helping to pay our bills every month. I think we had to borrow the money because there was something wrong with the car. It was just something we needed, a few extra $100 that we didn't have that we needed right away. And we paid her back. We borrowed money from my in-laws exactly 3 times. Yeah, a few hundred. I mean, it wasn't a lot of money. You know what I'm saying? But she still says that. She still says, oh, there's a time that we were paying all their bills. And everybody, and it took, I can't remember what happened. I think there was because my wife and my mother-in-law had a falling out, and then a few years after that, shortly after the kids were born, she and her sister had a falling out because of just the drama and the bullshit and the lies. So it was about that time that people in the family realized that my mother-in-law was out of her fucking mind. It wasn't, because she painted me out to be this fucking ogre. I mean, just this awful fucking person. And, we would go spend time with the family and they were like, he is nothing like the way, you know what I'm saying? He didn't act like that at all. He's terrible. He talks down to his wife and he's just, just bullshit. And then finally it took somebody asking my wife, hey, is he really the fucking asshole that your mother claims him to be? And she's like, no. I mean, almost to the point that I beat her, which my wife knows would never happen. She would hit me long before I hit her because she almost has, but we're not going there. But I'm just saying, it's, we have fights just like any other couple do. But, I've never dreamed of laying a hand on her because I grew up in a house like that where I had a stepfather that would put his hands on my mother, and there was no way in hell I was going to have to, long before we had kids, that there was no way I'm going to treat anybody like that. And I am damn sure not going to provide that kind of toxic environment for my children. You know what I'm saying? I mean, but just all these lies. And she lies about the dumbest shit that you couldn't. Why? You just ask yourself, why would she lie about that? Anything to paint her in a positive light. I don't know. She's a narcissist fucking psycho. She likes to make things. Oh my God. Ogre. Oh, wow. You almost got banned for saying ogre. That's funny. Maybe she's an ogre. I don't badmouth my mother-in-law around the kids because that's their grandmother. It's the only grandmother they got left. So I do not badmouth her. But they know she's a piece of work. You only have to spend a little bit of time around her to know what a complete fucking psycho she is. I let everybody judge even my mom, my mom was a bit narcissistic and everything. My mom was not a saint. But even my mom can say she's out of her fucking mind. When my mom was out of her mind too. She was a bit, oh my God. And, I'm probably a little bit narcissistic too, because it kind of runs in my family. My sister is a flaming narcissist. She claims everybody else is a narcissist and not her. Because she follows astrological signs and all that. She's into all that stupid shit. And she says because of her sign and what planets in the fucking whatever for that she refers to herself as the narcissist. She was really something else. Like we would have to explain everything we were doing while dressing her wounds, and she would still tell us we were doing it wrong. Oh, that's not even half out. Okay, we're in a ad break, so I'm gonna pause the conversation and finish drinking my coffee. But the manipulation and the lies. My mother-in-law is not as big as a narcissist as my sister. Holy shit. I could spin yarns for hours about my sister. I love my sister, but I can't fucking talk to her. We really don't have much of a relationship anymore. Because I just can't deal with her fucking lunacy and drama. On top of that, if she's not drunk, she's high, or both. All right, we got 10 seconds, and then we're back on Twitch. Okay. We're back. Freak, just to let you know, I usually pause a conversation during ad breaks. The people on YouTube don't get them. And I don't want anyone to miss anything. So if I'm playing a game, I'll pause the game or I'll pause the conversation so nobody misses anything. But yeah, my sister refers to herself as the narcissist's narcissist. Not quite sure what that means, but she's convinced herself she is a fucking nutcase. If she's not drunk, she's high or both. What happened? Who is? My sister. I'm sorry. You missed that part. My sister. She's not, my mother-in-law is not as big, what I started out as. My sister, my mother-in-law is not as big as a narcissist as my sister. There we go.
It's incredible.
God almighty. Shut up, Aniv. No one cares. It's incredible. My whole family is strange. No. Not the whole family. Just my side of it. And I won't even say I'm the normal one because I've got my issues too. I don't really speak. No, I don't speak with my siblings at all anymore. I'm the youngest of 5. My 2 oldest siblings have already passed away. They've passed away, sadly. And my other 2, I have another brother and another sister, and my sister's just stressful to deal with. My other brother is a piece of shit. Without going into it, with any kind of, because he's a piece of shit and he's toxic as fuck. And I won't speak to him anymore. So yeah, that is kind of sad. And a lot of and they're the only 2 really I have left. I have an uncle that's probably going to die soon because he's old. The rest of my family have all passed away. Why are the only one? Because pricks live forever. The good die young and pricks live forever. My oldest brother, I miss him so much. He was the patriarch of the family. He kind of, things kind of centered around him. Whenever we had problems or whatever, that's who we went to. He was a big, he was like a father. He was a father figure to me in my teenage years because my father had passed away when I was 10 and I needed a stable, dependable, decent father figure in my life. And when I say he was a saint, he had his, he had his faults just like any other person, but he was when he died, the family kind of fell apart, if that makes any sense. There was so much drama, and it hit because he battled cancer for about a year, and during that year, especially once he went to hospice, and we knew it was only a matter of time. It tore the family apart. We were at each other's throats constantly. And mainly it was my other brother that was fueling that fire. My oldest sister was also battling cancer kind of at the same time, but she didn't tell anybody because she didn't want to pile on top of everything else. So she told me shortly before my brother died, she told me and made me swear not to tell my mom. Which, because they were all smokers. Both my brother and my sister, they both died of lung cancer. but they smoked just about their whole lives. And my mom also died of lung cancer because she was a smoker. My sister, the one that's still alive, that's probably how she's going to die. Because after 3 people, you would think after watching your mother, a brother, and a sister die of lung cancer, you would stop smoking. Doesn't faze her. I never started smoking. I tried when I was 13, and that was the nastiest. Oh God, I threw up like almost nonstop for an hour, and then realized, yeah, that's not for me. So I've never really smoked. If you want to count the 2 days I tried, maybe I need to get used to it. No, was not. Don't. I do drink, but not excessively. I'll have a beer every once in a while. Like community night, this Saturday night, I'm gonna have some drinks or some beers and maybe a drink or so while while we're doing community night. But that's about the extent of my drinking. Now, what beer? I normally drink Michelob Ultra because it's like very low carb. And I can drink more of it without it being like, great taste, less filling. I'm dying healthy. I'm not saying it's healthy. It's less carbs because I have type 2 diabetes because I'm a fat fuck that doesn't watch what he eats. Okay. So that's what I'm saying. I'm not perfect. I've never claimed to be perfect. But I have type 2 diabetes. So I am real careful about what I try to be careful about what I eat and drink because it will literally kill me. Oh yeah. I would drink like full fat beer, full carb beer. I would have regular beer. Like Friday night, my wife and I went out. We left the kids at home because they didn't want to go. So we've been letting them have a little bit because we were gone 30 minutes. Anyway, we went out and I had a regular, undiet beer. I had a Pabst Blue Ribbon, or what we refer to now as a PBR. I had one. I don't drink I don't get annihilated.
At Fruitcake, those are Eastern Sacramento / Davis area.
Beer in the evenings, and I don't drink when I'm home alone with the kids. I won't drink anything, no alcohol if I'm alone with the kids, because, like in the case when Renly had his little diabetic episode, if I'd have been drinking, even if I'd have had just one beer, now it was 11 o'clock in the morning, so there wasn't a chance of it. But just let's say it was later in the day and I decided to have a beer, they would have come in, the paramedics. Well, first the fire department showed up because they're first responders. So, but the medics and everything would have shown up. They would have probably smelt the beer on my breath. I mean, it's not, and thought, oh, this guy's, irresponsible or whatever. I mean, that's what most people would think. That would be their first reaction. You smell beer on, alcohol in somebody's breath. Your first question is, how much have you had to drink? Or if something happened and I had to drive him, and I get pulled over for whatever reason, how much have you had to drink? I had a beer and my son had, then, what I'm saying? I don't drink when I'm home alone with the kids. And like I said, I will have a beer, maybe 2. I always have beer in the house. I have beer right now in this room in the mini fridge over there. Did I have one Saturday night, or I had a second one Friday? I can't remember. But I may not drink again for another week or 2 or longer. I know for sure, not this coming weekend, but the weekend after next, I'm going to have some beers because the NFL week 1 starts. and I like to have a couple of beers while I watch football. But if we're going to be going anyplace, I won't drink, or I'll let my wife drive just because I don't want there to be any issues. My father was killed by a drunk driver. So drink beer, watch TV. Yeah. Watch sports. Yeah. I'm that guy. I'm that guy. Now, to hear my kids talk, because I'll have a beer and they like to make their joke. They hear them talk, and they'll tell people this too, which is fucked up. The way they see it is I've got an IV that's constantly pumping beer into my veins, that I'm swilling down beer all day, every day. And it's just not true. Oh, that's a nursing joke. Yeah. They literally, if anything, I have an IV with coffee because I'm a caffeine junkie as well. Yeah. I've never been, I had a bit of a problem when I was in the Air Force, when I was in the military, and I stopped drinking for like 3 years until I realized I got to, get a hold of myself. And I learned, have I gotten drunk? Yes, I've fallen down, blackout. No, not quite blackout, but I've fallen down, too drunk to do anything. Putting like a urinary catheter collection bag on somebody sleeping in the break. Oh my God. Ew. You guys are sick. Buddy of mine used to be a paramedic, and he told me all kinds of stories. It's empty, but it's pretty funny. Yeah, I'd have, I guess it would have to be. But yeah, I'm so, and I don't even know where we were going with this, but yeah, my family, so my first stepfather, who I was not blood related to, he died of cancer. I had an aunt die of pancreatic cancer. My father-in-law had pancreatic cancer. His mother, I can't remember if she had cancer or not, but she was sick from the day I met her. She hung on. She had like 1 foot in the grave for years. And then she finally died. And I think there was some form of cancer. Then my brother, then my sister, then my mother. Now, my crazy sister's daughter died of COVID. And do you think it's a lie? Yeah, they were all smokers. Not my aunt. Yeah, my aunt was not a smoker, and hers was pancreatic cancer. But I mean, she lived way on the other side of the country, so we didn't see her that much. I don't really know what kind of lifestyle she had, but my first stepfather, he had cancer before he met my mom and beat it. And then shortly after they got married, it came back. And I want to say, I don't know if it was pancreatic. I think it was kidney or something like that. I don't remember. I was kind of young at the time. And watching it all happen. See, my father's death was sudden. And that fucked me up. As a 10-year-old, that'll fuck you up. And then like less than 2 years later, seeing somebody gradually waste away. Yeah, cancer is the biggest shit show. Oh, if chat, if you have never seen it, I saw a movie. No, movies, no. Real life, it is so fucking horrible to watch somebody just waste away. So when my brother had it, he was retired military, so he depended, his own choice depended on going to the VA hospital for his care, and he started having headaches and pain in his face. So he thought he had a sinus or a nasal infection or something, because, yeah, I mean, it's common where we lived. So he went to the VA. They said, "Oh, you've got a sinus infection," and they sent him home. Well, he went back multiple times over an 8-month period. And every time you have a sinus infection. Who has a sinus infection for 8 months? They didn't draw blood. They didn't do anything. They gave him some fucking decongestant and sent him home. No, they didn't even try anything. So by the time he went in and said, "I am not fucking leaving until you tell me what's wrong," that another doctor, this was the same doctor. No, not 8 weeks, 8 months. Not 8 weeks, 8 months. He got a different doctor. They finally did some proper tests and they told him, "You have stage 4 lung cancer." We all knew, he knew, but we all knew that he did not have long. And he lasted just shy of 7 months after that, from the day he was diagnosed. I knew something was wrong because my sister called me on my way to work and said to me, "Can you get off work today and go to Mom's house?" Because it's not so much the healthcare system, it's the VA healthcare. Now, this is going to sound racist and horrible and xenophobic and all that, but the VA healthcare system in this country, they will hire foreign doctors. And the reason they hire foreign doctors is because they don't have to carry VA Veterans Administration. It's for retired and disabled veterans of our military. They hire all these foreign doctors because they don't have to carry malpractice insurance. You cannot sue a VA doctor for malpractice. You have to sue the entire VA, and good fucking luck with that. We tried to sue the VA over my brother's death, and they made it so fucking impossible that my mom just gave up. My sister tried to take it up, and even as tenacious as she is, she just gave up. They make it that fucking difficult. Could it have saved his life? Probably not, but he could have had a little bit longer. They found my mom's lung cancer at a fairly early stage, but it was too late. She lasted about a year. I was the only one see, when my brother was sick, my mom was helping to take care of him. She went to every doctor's appointment. She'd sit in the hospital all day long with him. She did not leave his side for more than just a few hours till the day he died. I tried my level best to do the same for her, but the boys were they were infants still, toddlers at best. So, I had to be there for them, but I did take her to every doctor's appointment, and her first oncologist would just tell her everything's going to be fine. And when they gave her last chemotherapy treatment, it was like, oh, you're done. Everything's fine. That was the attitude that she had. It wasn't fine. Then we went to see this other doctor, and this, after you're done with me, go see this doctor, and he was like, you need to be getting her in hospice. She is not going to recover from this. And he's telling me this privately, and I didn't want to believe him. So she just, after they just, I guess they just gave up with the chemotherapy because it wasn't getting any better. It did at first, and then it just like, it was like putting fucking fertilizer on something, So we found a hospice, and it was nice. It was a really nice facility. And I put her in early evening, and she died the next day. I left her that night because it was the boy's birthday. It was their birthday, and she said, go home, spend the evening, and then I'll see you tomorrow. So I'm like, okay. I got up that next morning, and I was, I had my shower. Well, yeah, I had my shower and everything, and the place called and said, your mother took a turn for the worse during the night. You need to come in. I'm like, okay. But they didn't seem all that, they didn't say, she's going to be dead soon. You need to get here right away. That kind of thing. So I didn't rush. I didn't like, watch a movie or anything, but, I did what I needed to do. And then I went over there. They didn't tell me she's going to be fucking dead in hours. You need to get here. When I got there, yeah, she was unconscious. She aspirated. Is that the correct term? Aspirated. She aspirated during the night. And, of course, in hospice, they're not going to do anything. Yeah, vomited. Yeah. So she was struggling to breathe. She wasn't awake, but they insisted that she could hear me. So I sat there and held her hand and talked to her until she stopped breathing. I did have time to call my brother and my sister. And that was the last time I ever saw my brother. That was the last time I ever saw him because of the shit that he pulled. He's such a fucking asshole. Anyway, every death in the family, he has been a fucking asshole over and has caused drama. Every funerals, you would think that funerals would kind of bring out the best in a family, where it pulls you together. Oh no, every funeral fucking tore us apart. And finally, my mother's was the last fucking straw for me. Yeah, he just did some vile shit. Anyway, and I'm not getting into that because just even talking about this, I'm starting to get a little misty. Little tear almost welled up. I had never seen anyone die before. I didn't. I had had people die, but I'd never just sat there while somebody died. And it was my mom, that's kind of fucked up. And my, God, who was watching the kid? I think my neighbor came over and watched them I cannot remember who was watching the boys. But I ended up having to call my mom, or not my mom, my wife, and she had to come out there. And she was there until my brother got there. And for a while it was, it was okay. But he always would wait until he went back home. You just deal with it. You'll just deal, like when when we had the boys, you have twins, and one baby is difficult enough. We had two at the same time. They had to be fed at the same time. They had to be changed at different, there was always a struggle. So my wife went back to work and I elected to stay home because she made a fuck ton more than me. Okay. So when people say, oh my God, how did you do it? You just did it. I just did it. I found a way because there was no other choice. Now my mom would come over and help. 2 times the smell, exactly. And then there were times that they both needed to be changed or whatever. So people would, oh my God. And I jokingly say, people that just have one kid, you've got it fucking easy. One kid, oh, that's a cake compared. And then there were people that we joined this group called Moms of Multiples, or rather my wife did. And there were women there that had 3. There was one that had 4. Can you imagine that? As a family thing, it was Moms of Multiples, and they would have this big consignment sale 2 times a year. And that was really cool. I never went to, she would go to the meetings and stuff. It was for moms. 4. Can you imagine having 4 children? I mean, not like 4 at the same time. I cannot imagine that. I couldn't have done a third. And I know there were times I sleptwalked through an entire day. Your life becomes such a routine that it's literally the same thing with some variations every day. You wake up, you change and feed the kids. After they're done, you put them down for a nap. When they wake up, you give them a bath. Then you feed them again. Then you might have to change them, 1 or 2 times. All that. Now, would I do it all over again? Absolutely, I would do it all again. Being a parent is the hardest job I have ever done, but is the most rewarding job I have ever had. I mean, it's different when it's your kids. I will put up with things from my kids that I never would put up with somebody else's kids. Now, you know the boys. I mean, you've seen them and interacted with them. They're not horrible kids by any means. In the grand scheme of things, they're angels compared to like some of their friends that I've seen. I'm like, if either one of them tried to pull some, I would choke them the fuck out. You know what I'm saying? Well, they were at that age. They're not so bad anymore. Renly still is to a point. Renly is really hyper, I guess. Okay, we got an ad break coming up, so I'm going to pause the conversation. Yeah, I'm biased. All right, for those on YouTube, or if y'all are watching on YouTube, there's a ad break on Twitch, and I normally pause the conversation, pause whatever game I'm playing to make sure nobody misses anything or misses out on something. And it gives me a chance to take a breath, because as you may have noticed, I talk a lot. So I can drink something, because my throat gets dry. Now I'm going to have coffee. I'm going to finish this coffee up. Okay, we're back. We're back. Yeah, Renly's hyper. And you know what they say that if you have any hate in your heart, if you have any prejudices or like biases, or you're racist against something, then your child is going to marry what you hate the most. Let me tell you what happened to me. My sister-in-law she's gotten better. My wife and I started dating. She was just starting high school. So she was an annoying pain in the ass, and she can still be a very annoying pain in the ass. Renly is the exact fucking clone of my sister-in-law. The way he acts. He is my wife, because, my wife knows for sure because they're close in age and they grow up together, of course. So she knows Renly is a clone of my sister-in-law. And for a lot of years, I just wanted to just choke the life out of her sometimes. She's annoying. She has a very, I think so. You're making it true by having that bias. Well, it's not that it's just a saying, like say, if you don't like black guys, your daughter is going to marry one or bring one home, that kind of thing. And it's more of a, I don't know. It's not that. Yeah. And I know that's racist, and I don't feel that way. It was just, a better way of explaining it. Because I don't remember exactly what the saying was, but they say that what what you hate the most is going to end up dating your daughter or dating, that kind of thing. But in my case, it was the personality my son took on. Unlike her, he is she's real selfish. Renly is not selfish at all. So I know I'm probably the wisest person you know. I made something smart become racist. I didn't mean to be. I have been racist. I grew up in a racist household. And you did it by accident. I know, because I'm not perfect. Even I say dumb shit sometimes without thinking. But I grew up in a racist household. My parents were racist. My grandparents were racist. My friends and their parents were racist. It was how I was brought up. Yeah, I'm not blaming you. It's just super funny. Yeah. And
Nice little says
I
Chef
think I
Frank
have
Emmett
talked
Love.
about this on stream, but not to the extent I'm getting ready to go into. And I was born and raised in the South. I'm not saying that's an excuse. I'm just trying to provide some context. The Southern United States, probably one of the racist areas of the country. Yes. I forget that yes. I forget that you're not from the United States. So back in the 1800s, we had a civil war in the United States. More or less over slavery. The South wanted to keep slavery. The North wanted to get rid of it. And the Southern states, there weren't 50 of them at the time, but the Southern states seceded from the United States, and there was a war, and they lost. Okay. That's it in a nutshell. That's a very abbreviated thing. But there's still racism in this country. probably way more than it should be. So I grew up in a racist environment, but it was a black and white racism. That's what I was exposed to, that black people weren't the same as us. I know. They're different, just, and the best thing that you can do is stay away from them. I remember this was after my father died, and the N word was really prevalent. Really prevalent. It was used a lot at school, in my family, among friends. It was used a lot. After my father died, my first stepfather, I had a black friend at school, and I wanted him to come and spend the night, as as kids do. My parents weren't having it. My stepfather said, no, absolutely not. There will be no black. He said black children in this house. Yeah. So that's what got me thinking. That's when I'm like, he's my friend. Okay. That's when I started to question those ideals. I was probably 11, maybe 12. I know I was in the 5th grade. I was in the 5th grade. So I was still in elementary school. But that's when I started to realize that this isn't right. Simply don't like people simply because of the color of their skin. Nothing else. It didn't matter how good of a person they were. Just the simple fact that they looked different. And that bothered me all the way up until I joined the military. And then because there was still a separation, they lived in my neighborhood, but there was still that separation. They weren't like sleeping in my room. You know what I'm saying? There was a separation still. So then I joined the military, and then I had to live with people from all over the country, sometimes from other countries. There's foreign nationals that they would let into the military. So I was exposed to, and I'm not talking about exposed. I'm talking about had to live together. Okay. Shower with them, everything. And then, it really hit me that they're no different than me. No, not in the same bed, but like in a great big open room with beds. Yeah. That were maybe 3-4 feet apart. Yeah. And some of, so we had Hispanic people, we had a couple of Asian people, we had black people, some from the South, some from up north, some from out west, a couple from other countries. Most of us were the same age, but there were some guys that were a lot older. I mean, I was 18 when I joined the military. And I realized, there was me and another guy shipping out from my state that day. And he was a black kid, just like me. We had the same last name, which was hilarious. When I got there, there was yet a third guy, another black guy with the same last name as me. And that one fucked up and did something fucked up. And I almost got in trouble for it because they sent for airman. And I happened to be the only one there at the time. So I went down, and I had recently fucked up too, but not nearly as bad as this other guy. So they were going to what they call recycle me, which was send me back to day one of basic training. I had to start all over again. I had to go and get my head shaved. They were putting me with a different flight, different group, and I would have to have started over again. What we used to have to do dorm guard. There were dorm guards, which you couldn't let anyone into your dorm that didn't belong in there. And one of the things that they would constantly try to trick you up into getting them, you mistakenly let someone in. Well, he was doing dorm guard for what we call a baby flight, which they hadn't been there long enough to be able to do dorm guard on their own. So they would pull other people from flights that had been through basic training a little longer to pull dorm guard. Well, he was in the training, the TI, the training instructor. He was in the TI's office, sitting at the TI's desk with his shirt unbuttoned and his feet up on the desk. And the TI caught him doing that. He also stole something out of the TI's desk. I failed an inspection. I had too many little threads, little extra pieces of thread on something. I think it was my dress uniform, and I failed. In the grand scheme of things, not that bad. But they chew you out if you fucking, sneeze, And when you're in basic training, they yell at you for anything. So I had recently been chewed out. I was kind of, in hot water. So when they called, but there's a reason for it. It is extremely stupid. And the thing is, unless you do something really fucked up, nothing that you do wrong in basic training follows you into your military career. Nobody knew that I would, failed an inspection. And it's not a punishable offense. I may not be able to go on base liberty, or I couldn't get dessert that night for dinner, that kind of shit. That's the kind of trouble I was in. This kid was in a whole other level of trouble. Okay. So because me and this guy had the same last name, and they called up and asked for Airman Nah, which was me, because I was the only one there at the time, went down, and they were just fucking tearing me a new one, right? But they never did say what I had done, right? And at the time, I'm not thinking rationally, because I got two people fucking screaming at me. Do you think the way of training people is ethical? They never hit us. They can't lay hands on you, but boy, they can cuss you out one side and down the other. Unethical? I don't think so. They do it for a reason. They do it for a reason. And once you've gone through it, you realize exactly what they had done. But they can't hit you. In the Air Force, I know they hit you in the Marine Corps. But in the Air Force, they don't hit you, and they can't make you do exercises as punishment. They can't make you run laps or do sit-ups or push-ups or any of that shit. They can't do that. But they can take away privileges, and they can chew you the hell out, because, oh man. Anyway, so they're ripping me a new one, right? From two angles. And they said, you're being recycled back to day one. Go back upstairs and pack your shit. So, shit. I go back upstairs, and I walk in, I go in the dorm, and I'm walking to my bunk, and there's another TI. I was just about on the verge of crying. Yeah. Mind you, I'm 18 years old, and I had never been away from my mother before. So this whole situation was foreign and fucked. But the good thing is I wasn't the only one. There were more than one of us crying ourselves to sleep sometimes at night. I'm just saying that, because when you put that bald head, because they shave you bald, when you put that bald head on that cold pillow for the first time, that is a reality shock. Mama's not here to take care of you anymore. So I go in, and there was another TI. Like, we had like 3 or 4 TIs, and most of the main ones were gone. My flight was gone doing something that I had already done or wasn't. Anyway, so he walks up to me and said, "What are they doing?" And I was like, "Recycling me, sir." And he goes, "Good, you're about a stupid son of a bitch anyway." I'm like, "Well, goddamn, you harsh motherfucker." So I get my duffel bag out, and I'm just about to unfold it because they make you fold it up like perfect. And I'm like, God, I gotta fold this fucking thing again. The intercom goes off, and they says, "Send Airman back down here." I'm like, okay, what are they going to do? They're going to stick a chainsaw up my ass now? What the fuck else are they going to do to me? So I go back down there, and I walk in, and they go, "You must be the luckiest kid in the world, because right after you walked out of here, your TI, like the main TI that was responsible, called in and said that he is going to take mercy on you." And I'm like, holy shit. But the next time you get caught with your feet up on them, going through all this bullshit that they, and when I got a chance, I asked them, "Are you sure you have the right airman, meh?" And they go, "Are you Lawrence T, meh?" And I'm like, "No, sir." And one of them started laughing. The other one like, "Then get the fuck out of here, you idiot." So away I went. Oh, I was like, oh my God. I came back, and the same TI was there, and he's like, "Are they still recycling you?" And I said, "No." He was like, "Well, that's good. You're not so bad after all." That kind of, I'm like, all right, whatever. Oh my God. You don't, so later on that day, like everything had like blown over. They got the right airman and he got his proper chewing out and all this. My TI comes up and kind of leans into me and says, "I hear you were put through quite a scare or you've had quite a morning or whatever." And I was like, "Yeah, sir." He goes, "You can have an extra 10 minutes at dinner time tonight." That was a big deal. That was a big deal because the entire time we were there, we weren't allowed to drink soda or get dessert, because something happened every day that my TI would go, "And just because of that, you're not getting fucking dessert tonight." But we were never allowed to drink soda, and we were never allowed to get dessert. I went through all of that. Yeah. And then I kind of fell into a hole, and people forgot about me. So the day we graduated, or the day after we graduated, and we were all leaving to go to our specific assignments, I had to go to the hospital because they had found, because they check you, they do x-rays and all this shit for everything known to man. My wisdom teeth were impacted. So they were before they sent me anywhere, they were going to take out my wisdom teeth. So I was like one of the last ones out of the dorm because I really didn't have to go. I didn't have to report at any specific time. I just had to report that day by the end of the day. So I took my time packing and all that shit. So as I was walking out, my TI comes out of his office and he sees me. He goes, "Meh, what the fuck are you still doing here? I thought I recycled your ass half a month ago." And I just smiled at him and said, "No, sir, I'm still here." And he came over and he shook my hand and he said, "Good luck, son." That's when they started talking to you like normal people. He goes, "Where are you going?" I said, "To the hospital to get my wisdom teeth taken out." He's like, "Well, you have fun with that." And off I went. And that started a whole other new adventure for me. Anyway, so that's when I realized, holy shit, that's when I realized that people are people. No matter what color you are, no matter what race you are, no matter what country you we're all people. We're all basically looking for the same thing. We want stability in our lives. We want happiness, and we want to live our lives. And that's when racism is, hating somebody, except trainees in the military who were treated like, no, we weren't treated like subhumans. I mean, they didn't like whip us or anything. They didn't hit us, but the whole purpose of basic training, well, not the whole, but one of the main things is to break you down. Okay. They have to get you thinking military in a military. I don't know, we got verbally whipped a lot. I had heard people called names I had never, my TI was a fucking master at it. He could call people. We got in trouble because he called this guy a name one time, and the whole flight, every one of us about peed on our pants. It was so funny. I can't even remember what it was, but it was so funny. We couldn't help but laugh. Watching it from outside, you would laugh. But think of it, you're a kid. You're a kid. You're 18 years old. You're still a kid. And you get put into this situation that unlike anything you have ever, you don't know shit about shit. You're dressed the same as everybody else there. We all have bald heads. Everybody looks alike. That was the other thing. You realize that, we're all the same. But they try to teach you to think in military terms, because military lifestyle is different than civilian lifestyle. The Air Force especially was learn how to pay attention to detail and work as a team. Those are the two things that they try to, for lack of a better term, beat into you. That's why you had to make your bed with 45-degree hospital corners, and you had to iron your socks, and all of this other crazy shit that they made you do. You have to pay attention to detail, because the Air Force, for the most part, you're not a soldier. You're not being trained necessarily for combat. Usually Air Force is like mechanics, technicians, a lot of technical stuff. So they want you to have to be able to pay attention to detail. Like, I worked on it was essentially a computer that was nuclear hardened. I don't understand why the devices itself were nuclear hardened, because it ran off of like basic telephone lines. And if there was a nuclear war, there wouldn't be any fucking telephone lines anymore. Regardless. And you had, when you put the top part of, like the top case on it, it had like 10,000 screws, and all of those screws had to be torqued down to a certain degree of pressure. Exactly. And they gave you the tool to do, and you had to do it for all like you open up a computer today, there's 4 screws. There must have been 20 on these fucking things. Okay. We sometimes had to stick our hands into electronics, equipment that was still powered on. So we had to learn, how to be safe.
Got a blender, but Twitch IRL may take with Kitty.
Paying attention to detail, that's where it comes in. Following orders, paying attention to detail, and working as a team. That is the same throughout any military around the world. So they tear you down, they make you feel worthless. And then little by little, they build you up until at the end, they make you feel like you are now qualified to go out into the world of the United States Air Force and be a productive member. So, is it unethical? No, I don't think so. But it's not easy. And like Army and Marine Corps basic training is tougher because then you add the physical aspect. You have to be able to run, and you have to be able to, we still had to run and everything, but they teach you how to like survive in combat, how to, you were a soldier first, that kind of deal. We weren't soldiers. We still, I learned how to disassemble and reassemble an M16, which is a machine gun, essentially. I had to be able to qualify firing it. We had to run an obstacle course. We had to run 1.5 miles in a certain length of time. But like in the Army and in the Marine Corps, not so much Navy, you had like push-ups and sit-ups and pull-ups and all that was all measured. You had to be able to do that shit. You had to be able to run the obstacle courses in a certain amount of time. You had to be able to proficiently disassemble and reassemble an M16 and all this other shit. And they taught you like basic combat stuff. Yeah, for some people it is hell. Some people it is hell. It's not anything I'd want to go through again, but it's surprising that just sometimes days, most of the time weeks afterwards, you can sit back and you can just laugh about how ridiculous it was, how serious you took it, because what you're doing now isn't nearly as stressful. It's just as important, and there aren't people yelling at you all the time. And you just like, I cannot believe I was so tense back then. But that's the whole point. They want to see how okay. They wanted to see, you under stress, how you could deal with stress. So I don't know if you can still hear me, Freak, but have a good evening. I am so glad you came in. It was really, really good to talk to you again, and I hope you're able to come back again soon. All right. So for right now, it's just you and me, YouTube, for another minute or so. I'm going to stand up. Oh, my shirt. Ooh, sorry. My shirt's sticking to my back because it's hot here today. And I had to run around outside. I'm going to finally finish this coffee up. Okay, we're almost done. Maybe Freak is going to still be here when we get back from the break. I'm going to tell her bye again. Freak Cake. She's like one of my first viewers. She was my very first sub, as a matter of fact. My very first sub, and she subbed at a tier 3. Which really made me smile back in the day. All right. Okay, we're back. Freak, if you're still there, it was really good talking to you. It was so good to see you again, and I hope you won't be a stranger. Don't forget community night this Saturday night. Movie night on Sunday. Just pay attention to the social medias for details. I haven't revealed all the details yet. More for movie night than anything else about what time we're starting and what movie we're watching. I already know the movie we're going to be watching, but I haven't told you guys yet. What game? Okay, it's got my little button isn't working over here. That's okay. So yeah, I guess we're gonna play some Diablo now. Now that I've sat and run. See, if you'll sit here and talk to me, if you will talk back, I'll talk the entire stream. I love talking with chat. I love interacting with you guys. I love it. And I've done entire streams, 4+, sometimes 5 hours of nothing but running my mouth. Nothing. I did realize, and I'm going to be fixing this, the vertical stream, you guys are really getting cheated. Yes, you can watch on your phone in a nice format, but you don't get to see much. So I'm going to be making some scenes with some backgrounds and stuff for you guys. I've got to make some game scenes for stuff like, Apex Legends and stuff. You can only see what's in front of me. The vertical canvas is only so big. But I learned a way that I can basically mask out the portions, with like your ammo and all, the important stuff that you kind of want to see during the game. I can mask those out of the full screen, and I can put them into the vertical canvas in a place where you can see them. Because if you're watching live, especially on YouTube on your phone, it's got like there's stuff that YouTube puts up there. I can put that above everything to where you can see, how much ammo I have left, how many kills, life, all that important stuff. And I'm in the process of doing that with Diablo 2. So you can see my health and my mana and, all of that on screen, to where normally you can't see it because of the canvas size. And I probably need to take the alerts off of there too, because when an alert goes off, it's all stretched to shit and it looks like crap on the vertical stream. I have to put them on there and I guess adjust them just right to where, like I have, if you're looking at it now, if you're watching on vertical YouTube, got that 0 places kind of in the lower third. That if I put that too low, you can't see it for all the YouTube stuff. Or if I put it too high, you can't see it. So I want to give you guys, especially the vertical viewers, I want to give you guys, got to show you some love, give you a better experience, because I think this is how most vertical streams are. There's not a whole lot to them. I'm looking at the fucking screen instead of the camera, and I'm now. One thing I did want to do real quick is I want to switch cameras real quick. Oh great, now the camera's not working. Oh, there it goes. It's slow as shit. And it's all choppy, and I don't know why. And the wild thing about it is it's not showing like any kind of rendering lag or encoding lag, no skipped frames or anything like that. But I'm just going to start doing this because it worked fine for a while and it started fucking up again. I might have to plug it in someplace else. I don't know why it's doing all that. Hello. See, I have to look away from the preview. All right, maybe it's going to act right now. It's very weird. So if it starts fucking up and freezing again, shoot me a message. Put something in chat. The camera's fucking up again. Anyway, I know I say this every time. I love having the second camera now to where I can just literally, I can kick back over here. Yep, there it goes. It's starting to fuck up. Why is it doing that? Okay, I think I know why. I need this. Oh no, that's not it at all. Why is it not turning on? All right, let me go back over here. All right, you prick, why aren't you turning on? Like I said, every stream something doesn't work. I think I get everything fixed. All right, like okay, now I'm having problems with the fucking camera. Certain features won't work. They worked yesterday or they worked last stream, but now they're not working today. And I don't have any freaking clue why. Like my music should be muffled right now. Okay, that works. All right, so obviously it's the button and not me. Jeez. Well, it is working, but the button's not showing. Okay. So what I was playing around, I didn't think, see, when I'm in chatting, I muffle. I have an equalizer filter on the music, and it muffles and mutes it a little bit. And then when I go off chatting, like be right back or something like that, I turns that filter off and you can hear it fully. For some reason, the button on this one Stream Deck isn't working. It's very annoying. Okay, I think I'm messing around here. Don't pay attention. I'm deleting that. So I have an extra button. This button only works sometimes. But see, anytime they make like, I mean, okay, let me think of the word. I'm thinking carefully the words I want to say because I don't want to sound ungrateful or badmouth anybody. People make plugins for OBS. People make plugins for your Stream Deck and all this. And it's all based mostly like on open source software. And I understand that. But anytime like if somebody makes or if OBS does an update on, it can cause other shit to break. That's not the fault of anybody, not OBS, not the plug. It just happens. So, and that leads me to this. When you're using a piece of software and it messes up, it's causing you a problem, report it to the developers, because they may not ever know. It might be something wrong with your computer. It could be something wrong with the software itself. Let the developers know. How else are they going to fix it? If you just say, oh, I'll just deal with it until they fix it. And what if they don't? What if they are not aware of the problem per se, and it's only a problem for just a few people? If they don't know about it, they don't fix it, and maybe you get pissed off eventually and quit using it when you could have let them know and they could fix the problem. So don't just keep that shit to yourself. Let the developers know if you're having a problem, if you find a flaw or a bug or anything. At least you may sound like, the boy who cried wolf with them, but you're making them, unless you're like reporting trivial shit, but if you're reporting actual issues and it leads to bug fixes that come much quicker than they would have normally, you're helping them out. And you want the software, especially if it's software you paid for, but even if it's just free, open source stuff, you want to help them give you, if not anybody else, a good experience using that software. So don't keep that shit to yourself. If you see something, say something, that kind of thing. If you see something, say something, bitch. I guess we're going to play some Diablo now. I probably need to take a break though. Because once I finish this, I don't have anything to drink and I need to have some water, and I need to put a load of laundry in. So yeah, I'm going to take about a 5 or 10 minute break. This will be a good time for everybody to stand up, stretch, get something to drink, go to the bathroom, whatever, because I feel something coming on. So I'm going to go take care of that. Give me about 5 minutes or so, and I'll see you back here on the other side of this break. So don't go anywhere. Alrighty, I'm back. I'm back. Oh, my goodness. It took a little bit longer than I thought it would. My apologies. And we've only got about an hour left in the stream before I have to go. Imagine that. So I wanted to show you guys this. And most of you will probably already know about them. And it's these are the Star Wars themed light side, dark side Oreos. Special edition Oreos. Now they make special edition food. So the deal with this is you don't know if you've got light side or dark side until you open it up, and the cream filling is either red or blue. And I thought, well, that's kind of stupid. But then I'm like, no, that's pretty cool because they're only, whoop, shit, sorry. Oh crap, it hit the keyboard and caused something to happen. Okay. Since they're only limited edition, they're not around for long. But my wife found at Costco, you can get them in these 1 serving size bags. They're like a whole box of them. So they're about to go away. She got 2. And I know this is loud as fuck. Sorry. Dark side. So, all right. So I'm dark side. And then there's a villain, which in this case, I think that's Darth Maul. I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure that's Darth Maul. So I have Darth Maul red filling with these little crunchy bit things, little crunchy bits of sugar or some shit in the filling. These are great little snacks before I eat this. No, maybe that's not Darth Maul. That might be Count Dooku. It doesn't say. You just have to fucking guess. I guess this could be Count Dooku. It kind of looks like Darth Maul, though. I don't know. What do you think? Darth Maul or Count Dooku? Or somebody else? I don't know. And that's who we got on this one. Let's see who we've got on the other one. Okay, well, this is easy to determine. That is, without a doubt, Kylo Ren. One of the most pathetic Star Wars villains. Oh, ad. All right, so we're going to... God, we just had a fucking ad break. Jesus. I think Twitch is doing this too often. I do have 3 minutes worth of ads a minute, or no, 3 minutes of ads per hour. That's to turn the pre-rolls off, meaning if you come into the stream, you're not immediately hit with ads. And of course, nobody that this affects can hear what I'm saying right now. Because you guys on YouTube, I don't think you guys get ads for live streams. I know some live streams do, like if it's a 24/7. Oh God, now what? She knows I'm streaming. What? We need to take a look at his pump when he gets home. He's still really high. Which was 2 hours ago. Okay, God damn it. WTF. Okay. God almighty, this thing. I had to stop the stream about an hour in to drive up to the school and deal with my son's a diabetic. He's type 1 diabetic. And he's having an issue. And I had to go up there and put a new insulin pump on his arm. But now for some reason it's fucking up again, this new one. So I don't know what the hell is going on. But my wife is like super duper hyper paranoid when it comes to him. And I guess that's not necessarily a bad thing. But, you know, if just the slightest little thing is off, she almost goes into panic mode. She'd punch me if she heard me say, no, she wouldn't punch me. She'd give me a look, though. Which leads me to this. I'm going to record some content live on stream in just a minute. I'm going to eat my Oreos, my dark side Oreos. Kylo Ren, you whiny little bitch. There we go. Yum. And in case you knew it, or didn't know it, 2 Oreos is a serving size. $140 calories for 2 Oreos. This is either Count Dooku or Darth Maul. Darth Maul doesn't have hair, and this guy clearly has hair. But he's got a big fat nose, and he's got I don't know. I guess this is Count Dooku. My wife used to work for a company that was owned by an Austrian count. His name was Count Arco. But I'd always refer to him as Count Dooku. And I'd always tell my wife whenever I would get to meet him, when I shook his hand, I would say, "You're going to pay for all the Jedi that you killed today, Dooku." And watch the look of confusion, wash over his face, and then my wife turned red with embarrassment and probably divorced me. So I joked about that enough that she actually started to believe me that I would actually do it. So when the time came for me to really meet him at a Christmas party, she begged me not to call him Count Dooku. She's like, don't even let it slip. Because honestly, I would forget his name and just call him Count Dooku. So she's like, remember his name is Arco, not Dooku. Then then I'd get into all this Nazi bullshit, ask him if he read Mein Kampf and all that. I was just being an asshole. I would have never said that, but she's terrified that I would have, but I never did. And I wouldn't. I know better than that. However, when she got laid off, I wanted to go up there, walk in like Captain America, and just, he wasn't there all the time. He did not bother himself with the meddlings of the peasants. He was royalty in Austria. Like, we were like, I don't care. We don't care about royalty anymore. British, Austrian, I don't give a fuck. You put your pants on one leg at a time like I do, you pretentious fuck. And his wife was worse. Anyway. And he had kids that were like the 2 twins from The Shining. Anyway, I might get in trouble for that. I think I could get in trouble for that. I'm not sure. He's dead, so who gives a fuck? But I don't know. Somebody worked there. But she doesn't work in there anymore, so fuck them. Anyway, they were pretentious fucking people. They were running the company into the ground because they treated it like their own personal piggy bank. The company paid for anyway. Y'all don't want to know that. But I'm going to record some content here in just a second. I'm going to record it right here while I do this. And I'm actually going to turn that off on the vertical, because this is probably going on TikTok or something. It's going to go onto, it'll probably be too long for YouTube Shorts because I only have a minute. I don't know if I can get it done in a minute. I'm going to take my time so I don't fuck it up. Because then all I have to do is cut it out and do just a little bit of trimming on it. I don't have to do a whole lot of editing because video editing is not my forte. So if you wanted an opportunity to fuck me up while I'm trying to record something, now's the time. Anyway, I'm going to finish drinking this. And I'm going to have to figure out why my other camera's messed up. That's making me mad. First, it wouldn't work at all. And now it's not working correctly. It might be because of maybe I'm taking up too much bandwidth on that hub with it because it is. I might put it on the other one. It's fine. I'll take care of it later. Don't worry about it. Blue Bomber slushy. G Fuel. It's yummy. It's berry bomber that I don't like. That stuff's nasty. They sell it at a Dollar Tree near my house. It's for $1.25 a can, but I think they only got so much and they're about out. So most of they don't have as much, and my favorite flavors aren't there anymore. So I might have to go and order some. Okay, I'm going to turn that off. Now, I'm going to talk about my wife. Okay. All right. Now I'm recording. So when you've been married for a while, there's certain things you can do to your spouse and get away with that you would never be able to pull when you're newly married. One of the things I like to do to torture my wife is there's usually a basket of clean clothes downstairs in my house, and they're usually mine. And every time that I'm getting dressed or I take a shower, I go down there to grab a pair of socks or a pair of underwear. And then I take those and I go upstairs and wear them. My wife always says, if you just took them all upstairs and put them away, instead of just taking one at a time, it'd save you so much time and trouble. And I would go, yeah, I know. And then I wait a few days to a week and I go to my wife and say, I just had an epiphany, this brilliant idea. The clothes downstairs, if I were to bring them upstairs and fold them and put them away, I wouldn't have to go downstairs every time I took a shower. And then I'd first watch her face go blank, and then I'd see the anger and frustration just wash over her. And then I'd just go, and I walk away. There we go. That might be under a minute. It may not be. Let's see. Where does that stuff go? Let's see. It's 1 minute and 34 seconds, so it cannot be a YouTube short. However, it can go on all of the other ones. Okay, everything I've got up, okay, all right. I had something on that I shouldn't have. Oh, excuse me. Excuse me. Okay, so I've had my Oreos. And I'm going to tell you something else that you will probably not want to hear, but fuck it. My stomach has been ripped to fucking shreds today. Holy crap. I was almost late starting the stream because I was in the bathroom. It's like fucking unbelievable. when I got up this morning, I was helping make the kids lunch, and I had a couple of grapes, just regular green or white seedless grapes. And ever since then, I hadn't been able to stay off the fucking toilet. Oh my God. What the hell is wrong with me today? I'd like to think that it wasn't just those grapes that fucked me all up, but man, it sure was. All right, so now I've talked about bowel movements and pissing my wife off and how I discovered that racism was stupid. Since I've talked about all of this other shit, members of my family dying, this has been a fucking sad sack of a stream. I don't mind telling you that I had to break almost in half because I had to stop and run up to the school and help my son out. This has been, in spite of everything, a pretty decent stream. However, it's been quite sad sack. Quite sad sack. And that was my fault. So we're going to play some Diablo 2. And the button will work once I do that. It's definitely not a cult. It's not a cult. I got to pull up. What do I got to bring up? Battle.net. And I'm going to stop the music so we can hear properly. Early access. Now, I've been thinking. I've really been thinking of starting to play World of Warcraft. I really have. Is it World of Warcraft? I only have, okay. Only 2 favorites. Is it World of Warcraft? There we go. Holy shit. It's still $50. You have to pay to play this shit? Still? Okay, maybe I won't. I'm not paying $50 to play this. There are free RPGs out there. There's free ones. So that's not happening. So never mind. Oh, forgot to hit play. Here we go. Game capture, there's always like a delay. We are in Loot Golem still. And there's my guy. I'm a level 20 paladin. So, what I was saying earlier about, oh shit, there's a huge rendering delay. This is going to hell in a handbasket here. What the fuck over? It might be. Can't change it while I'm playing. Okay, there it goes. It's She's stabilized now, Captain. Okay. Ooh. That was kind of scary. Okay, so before all that happened, so if you're watching on vertical or you know anything about what a vertical canvas will look like, the life globe here and the mana globe here, you cannot see these. This is too wide for the vertical canvas. So what I have done, I haven't initiated it yet, but I have I made a mask to mask this whole bar out. Okay, and I think I did it in two or three pieces. Anyway, I am going to cut these out of cut this out of the vertical stream and put them in where you can see them. And it might be one of those things that I'm gonna lower the whole canvas down and block the bar completely, and then have it in, replace it or place it in the stream, the vertical canvas, to where you can see that and pay attention. So you don't feel like you're missing, everything. The gameplay is centered, of course, but you can't see everything. All right, inventory. Okay. These charms, they work real good, but clear the other side of town. Come on, dude. I don't even remember where we left off, to be honest with you. It's been several months. Let's go to my quests. Okay. We're either in the maggot lair or we're at the far oasis. Let's find out. All the way up to, I think that's where we... Now see, I like this guy. He is much better than the other dude I had. I think I've done this. See, he can handle the shit, man. Go back. I want to say I've been through here. An axe, spear. These are magic. Oh. I need more. Holy crap. I cannot believe that happened. I left town without enough potions. So I'm all full up. So let's go back down. figure this out. I think I'm gonna have to drop my stream back down to 30 frames per second because it was running stable. Everything was running stable until I switched to that. Now it's all messed it up. Deckard Kane, you prick.
Good day.
Yes. Trading repair. There we go. Repaired the equipment and still made about 1,000 gold pieces. Let's see what kind of armor we got going. Oh, I really want that. That is 8 grand for that. With not much. Well, I could sell that and get like half of it back. Chainmail. What if I had chainmail? Scale mail. So that's better than a breastplate? Well, it's probably better than that breastplate. And luckily, it's only 1,008 or 1,108. Should I buy it? The one I have is pretty good. It's got those gems in it that make it. It's kicking those skeletons' ass. I really want a magic. I really want a good flail. That's what I really want. I mean, is this almost? Is this? Are you guys? Is this all screwed up to y'all? I mean, is it too laggy? If it's too laggy, I'll stop and we can play some other time. But, say tomorrow and I can fix the... I think it's because I went to 60 frames a second. I do have, I think I have the Herodic Cube. Yes, I have the Herodic Cube. Quest, okay, we got the... Okay, so we need to be at Far Oasis. I thought we did the maggot lair. Or maybe I died. I can't remember. So we have the key from the Dry Hills. We need to get to the Far Oasis for the shaft. And then the Claw Viper Temple for the headpiece. First,
good evening.
There we go. We're all healed up. That's all he sells is that kind of stuff. Alright, so let's go. I know I'm... it's lagging like hell. Dry Hills. Gotta find our way out of here. It was... Gold. Whipped all 3 of them. Serves. frozen. There we go. Gold. Gold. Something else. Spike team, spike flow. Let's go over here. I feel healthy. Throwing it. I think I may have lied. I think I'm supposed to be. You bitch. What's in there? You motherfuckers. I hate these guys because they run like little pussies. Rejuvenate. Full helm? Or just a half empty? Nothing. So, is that? Big, huge waste of time. Okay. So last time it I want to at least try to find, is this Far Oasis? Yes. Okay, Far Oasis. So this is kind of where we need to be. And yes, I died over here, if I'm not mistaken. Where's the dude? Where's the dude? Where's the dude? I need the dude. Come here, come on. Damn it. Holy shit. Damn it. Leave those bitches alone, they fucking dudes. The zombie head. Oh, shit over here. Yeah, they better give me a lot of extra healing potions, because man, that took a lot out of us. Ooh, that's a magic skull cap, rejuvenation potion. Just what we needed. Oh damn it, I'm already full up. I think I died last time looking for the waypoint. That sounds 100% plausible. Nothing. Looking for the damn waypoint. Holy shit. This thing is... I'm all lagging like hell.
I can't carry anymore.
I can't carry anymore. And we are lagging like hell, y'all. I'm gonna have to get out of this. I am so sorry, y'all. It lags too much. I'm either gonna have to turn my... Yes, start your fucking update. Jesus, y'all, I am so sorry. There it goes. Fixed it. That button. I'm sorry. I mean, it's almost unwatchable. Like that. And we've got a We're in an ad break, I think. Looks like it. So, yeah, I'm sorry, y'all. Yeah, we were rendering and encoding lag like a motherfucker. Like a true motherfucker. So we're just gonna chat it out, man. We're just gonna have to chat it out. I am so sorry. That's redonkulous. So is this finished? Diablo 4? Yeah. I cannot believe World of Warcraft. Oh, that's reforged. I don't want that. Can't believe that shit's $50, man. Activation. Blizzard. There it is. World of Warcraft. Upgrade available. Oh, I've got the original upgrade available. What's gonna happen? Shit, yeah. I've got the early, you can only make it to a certain level. So I was getting ready to say, I thought I had this. It wants $50 fucking for this. And I'd be starting essentially from nothing. So I think I'm gonna pass on World of Warcraft. That was the reason why I never played. I can't stand looking at those red numbers. That was the reason why I never played it to begin with, because I could not see myself. That was back when it was subscription based. I couldn't. I couldn't. I can't. I can't, because I'd rather, I would rather buy the game and never play it than have to pay a subscription for a game that I love to play. You know what I'm saying? That's weird. It's very strange, but I'm a strange guy. And I've got a fucking headache. Oh my God. The deal with my son at school has got me so, I've got a tension headache now, which I don't know why. It was only because I had some dipshit in front of me and then got stuck behind a train, or not behind, but couldn't get around the train. Now I've got this headache. I might take a nap when I get back just to get rid of this headache. I took something just a little while ago and it has not helped. Let's start the music back up, shall we? Yeah, baby, that works. I love it when shit works on the stream deck. I love it when stuff works on the stream deck. Very nice, very nice. One more time, because I know I've talked about it quite a bit at the beginning. This Saturday night, I'm doing community night. I'm doing a community night, my first ever official community night. We're going to be playing Among Us and Fall Guys and some other community, jump in and play together kind of things. Might be having a few drinks while we do it. I might, just a couple of beers or two. And I have not, it will definitely be Saturday night, but I'm not sure what time we're starting yet. So I'm promoting it quite heavily on my social medias. So just make sure you're following one of them, probably except for Instagram. I don't update that one nearly because it's a little harder. But anyway, so Threads or Twitter or Facebook. It's still Twitter. Fuck you, Elon. It's going to be, I'm going to call it Twitter until the day you run it into the ground and have to shut it down. Excuse me. And then Sunday night, we're doing movie night on the Discord. Again, not sure what time we're starting, but, or the movie we're going to be watching, but that's also going to be on the social meteors. So make sure you're following one of them. And we'll figure, I mean, I know the movie that I want to, we'll be showing, but I have not announced it to everybody. Few people know. I have talked about it on stream, which movie. But the bummer is the one viewer that I was specifically showing that particular movie for can't be here. It's got to work. So I might change the movie. And if so, I know what movie it's going to be. I know what movie. I wanted to do a series of movies, but if we're gonna miss the first one, then anyway, I've got a backup just in case. I have a backup. So, oh my God, y'all, I am so sorry. So yeah, make sure you join the Discord. Let me put, I think I have, nope, that's not it. Here, let me put it there. And then I'm going to click on it over here and let it open up. So when, for the benefit of my YouTube fellas, there's that. That's the Discord. And I'm going to be posting something on TikTok in the next day or so too. There's the Twitter address. Those threes. And you know what? Fuck it. Let's do, let's do Threads too. What the hell? And there's my Threads. I'd much rather you follow me on Threads than on Twitter. I really want to get off Twitter. I really do. That's why I'm hoping it will, Elon Musk will drive it into the ground like a fucking dart. I want him to lawn dart Twitter right in to a side of a mountain or something. Because if you hadn't heard, World Bank, I think it's World Bank, a big sponsor that they have, found out that they were sponsoring racist and Nazi posts. So they're no longer advertising on Twitter, which is probably going to piss Nancy Boy off something fierce, and he'll probably sue them too. Also, if you're not following, back when he took over Twitter and started being an asshole, a bunch of advertisers left. And he said, I think he literally told them to go fuck themselves. I may be paraphrasing a bit, but the words fuck yourselves were definitely said. So the advertisers literally went and fucked them. No, they pissed off. They left. Now he's all butthurt and he's trying to sue them, which is going to go over like a fart in church, I'm sure. I don't think it's going to make it to any kind of like actual trial, because some unless he gets some radical Trump appointed lawyer, or not lawyer, but judge. And even so, they might tell him to go pound sand, dude, because this is ridiculous. You can't tell your advertisers to fuck off, and when they do, turn around and sue on them for doing the exact thing you told them to do. So, and I just want to reiterate, Elon Musk is no genius. He's never designed a thing in his life. He buys companies. He bought Tesla. He bought SpaceX, and he bought Twitter. He is the father of nothing. He has invented nothing. People who used to say he's a modern day Tony Stark, no, he is probably a modern day Justin Hammer at best. No, he is a modern day, let's see, a modern day Barney Fife. That's a good one. If you don't know who I'm talking about, Barney Fife, look it up. Yeah, he's a piece of shit. Anyway, the only reason I'm still on Twitter is everybody, a lot of streamers are still on it. And I have more followers on Twitter than I do on Threads right now. Okay. So that's the only reason. As soon as I surpass what I have on Twitter, I'm going to probably close it. I already deleted my personal Twitter account. I need a button, just Twitter. And I'm going to call it that for like fuck Elon and his ex. Everything's got to have Twitter. And if you're on Truth Social, get the fuck out of my stream. No, I know some people that are on it just to read the ridiculous bullshit that goes on there. Okay. I don't know what I was saying. Anyway, you need to follow me if you want details of movie night and community night coming up this weekend. It's Labor Day weekend. I know a lot of people that have plans won't be able to make it, and that's cool. This is for the people that don't have plans going, what am I going to do this weekend, Zero? I got you covered, man. I got you covered. Come in Saturday, Sunday nights, hang out with me. We're going to watch a movie. We're going to play some games. Have some drinks. Have some laughs. So come on in. I got you covered. Community night, probably 3-4 hours, maybe longer. Movie night will be at least long enough to watch the movie, one of the 2 movies that I have in mind. So we're looking at least 2 hours, because we might chat a little bit before and might chat a little bit afterwards. I've never done a movie night. I need to participate in somebody's movie night, so I know how to do. I know how to do it, but am I going to talk the whole time, or am I going to open up the chat so we can just chat during the movie? Not sure. I might ask around. I know a couple of streamers that do regular movie nights, but I don't know if they will answer my messages because I'm a small baby streamer. I'm a small baby. And they are much too important to cavort with the likes of me. I'm drinking this water in the hopes that my headache will go away. It still has not. If it has not, by the time I get the boys and get back home, I'm thinking about taking some more Advil and taking a little nappy nap until dinner time. I fucking hate being old. I hate it. I do have this nifty little video that I made. That I'm going to edit and post. That should be an easy edit because I just have to trim off the front. It's adding little effects and shit like that I don't like. or not that I don't like, it's that confuses me. Jump cuts and shit like that. And I know if I did it more, if I would just like fucking pull the trigger, no pun intended, and just start making more videos and sitting down and try to, hell, my kids can edit videos. There's no reason why I can't. I know they don't use DaVinci Resolve, but I bet you they could if they learned it. They don't want to learn it because it is a little tough. But I know the basics. I can do it. I can look up tutorials and stuff. In fact, who was it? I think Epos Vox put out a whole like long tutorial on how on the basics of DaVinci Resolve. Pretty sure it was him. It was either him or Guy Level. Can't remember. One of the two of them. Or it may have been Andy Lippy. I don't know. I know it wasn't Nutty. I know it wasn't Harris Heller. Although it could have been Harris. One of them put out a fucking tutorial not too long ago, maybe about a month ago. So if you're interested in watching that, go find it. It's on YouTube. One of those. Epos Vox, Andy Lippy, Guy Level, Harris Heller, and let me throw Nutty in there just for the hell of it. But I know Nutty didn't make it. He usually doesn't make great big long videos like that. They're all on YouTube. Look them up. They're all on Twitch too. Or yeah, Twitch. Even Harris Heller's on Twitch. He doesn't stream much anymore. If he does, I don't catch them. I liked it when Harris would stream. His streams were like really chill and mellow. I miss his streams because he went specifically to YouTube, and that's all he did. He streamed on YouTube, and then he moved back to Twitch. He still makes videos on a regular basis. He still makes music and stuff like that. He's the genius behind Stream Beats. And let me tell you what he did in case you didn't know. Harris Heller is probably one of the most industrious people I've ever heard of, and you know what I'm saying. He comes up with these ideas that make you go, shit, I should have thought of that. And he makes a crap ton of money off of it. So around about the time that Twitch started cracking down on copyrighted music and people were terrified to play just about any music on Twitch, much less YouTube, he got on Fiverr and bought some original music from some Fiverr guys. So, they made the music, he bought it, he owned it, and then he created this thing called Stream Beats. And he put it on Spotify, and he put it on Apple Music, and I think 2 or 3 other the major streaming music sites. He put it on there, and then he made the songs available for download from his website. So it's, to the streamer, to the creators, it's 100% free. And they're it's totally original music. Since then, I think he has hired a musician. He actually has a musician on his staff. He does collaborations, and he's a fair musician in his own right. That's how him and his wife. So he got started back when what was it called? It's before TikTok. Oh crap! What was the name of shit? Now I can't think of it. And it shut down. It was like a short form video. Son of a bitch. I had it right there, and it went, yeah. Anyway, and he went viral on there and did pretty good. And then when they shut down, his, things kind of went for him. But he bounced back. He started streaming. He's like he knows cameras and audio and all that stuff. I would like to kidnap him for a weekend or so and bring them here and set them down in front of my stream and just go, make it wonderful, and do all my my audio and video settings and all that. God, I still can't think of the frickin' name of that site. Anyway, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Anyway, so now when people like subscribe to his playlist on like Spotify or whatever, he gets a tiny bit of money for it. And he at one point was doing very well. I'm not sure, but he doesn't work. Him and his wife, they built this fantastic house where they live. The whole basement is a recording studio and streaming setups and all this other stuff. He has got the best, what I wish I could have. But I'm not interested in making music because I'm not a musician, but just this awesome setup that he had built. It's amazing. So yeah, I want him, and I'm watching this music video that I hadn't seen in a long time. Holy cripes. Okay, I'm sorry. It's like, oh, boobies, and get distracted. Even, yeah. Sorry. So, yeah, I want him and I want Nutty. I want to kidnap them for a weekend and let them sit down and collab. That would be awesome. And have them just fix my shit. Fix it up, dude. Yeah, just like, okay, this filter needs to be set like this, and just to optimize my stream. I would love that. I don't have the money can't afford to, like, because I know Nutty at one point he would do it for a ridiculous amount of money, but he would do it. I don't think Harris would, but every man has his price. You know what I'm saying? I'd fly him out here. I'd fly Nutty from from Australia, and Harris from Utah. And I'd put him up in a semi-decent hotel nearby. I have a Holiday Inn Express not too far from where I live. I'd put him up there. Oh, do we have a follow? Yes, we have a follow. Thank you for that follow. I have anonymous follows on. If you want to be recognized, I will surely recognize you. If you don't, that's cool. However, you get to put a rubber band on the rubber band ball. For every follow, we put one new rubber band. For subs, we put 2. Donations, I haven't figured that out yet. So, if you would like to name, choose a color. I've got just about most colors. Excuse me, pick your color. Thank you for the ew. Pick your color and we'll put it on there. If not, I'll just pick something anyway later on and put it on. But thank you for that follow. I need to turn the alert on. Blue like your name. Okay. Ashley Garcia. Absolutely. Since you're chatting, then I guess everybody kind of knows who you are now. I need to fix the alert so the alert will actually go off. But yeah, the blue ones, I've got these great big ones, but I don't know. See, it's huge. It's huge. Cool. this will get wrapped around here twice. So we go, nah, nah, nah. There we go. You now have a rubber band on the rubber band ball. Now, when this thing gets to be like soccer ball, basketball size, what I'd like to do is auction it off, the great big one. If it gets great big, auction it off for charity. Like, okay, bidding starts at, let's say, $100. And then the highest bidder gets the rubber band ball. And then a charity, it's generally a children's hospital type charity, will get the money. So there we go. I can't wait. And then we'll start a new rubber band ball. Start over from scratch. But thank you so much. Would you like a shout out? I can give you a shout out. There we go. Well, you know, I did it without even waiting for you to answer. So there you go. I need to fix my shout out so it needs to be more than just thanks for this. Hey, no problem. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. I really do. I was just thinking, not 5 or 10 minutes ago, I was like, I haven't had a new follow in a while. I wonder what's going on. And then boom, here you are. Imagine that. I do want to tell you real quick. I've been talking about this all stream this Saturday and Sunday nights. Saturday is community night. We'll be playing community joinable games, you know, like Among Us and Fall Guys and stuff like that. We're going to be just hanging out, having a good time. And then Sunday night is my first ever movie night on my Discord. So if you're new or if you want to join the Discord, I spent not most of the weekend, but I spent a fair amount of time with a buddy of mine that knows more about Discord than I do. And we went through and fixed some things that weren't working on the Discord. So yeah, we're going to be doing movie night. All of the details are coming. I just know that for right now, I mean, I know, but I'm not disclosing everything yet. It'll be Saturday and Sunday nights for sure. What time? I haven't decided yet, but I'm posting all that on my social media. So make sure you're following. All the links are down. The Discord link the one that's in the stream panels may not work. If it doesn't work, let me know and I'll send you I've put the link like 1,000 times in today. So I'm not going to do it again unless it's requested. It works. Sweet. Okay, cool. Actually, that'll be cool to know if it actually works. We did test it with a test account. Oh, speak of the devil. Yeah, hell yeah, it worked. Hey, we got a new Discord member and it worked.
Good Dame.
Alpha's the one that did all the hard work on the Discord. Whoops. Okay, let me stop that. So yeah, I'm happy that worked. It gave you you should be able to see everything and chat and all that. And then I just sent you. Sweet. Everything worked. Okay, so we're in an ad break. So hang on.
Now, this is epic.
Yeah, it's epic. I made a TikTok on stream today. Well, it's not just a TikTok, but a TikTok. I was starting to lose my mind trying to figure out how to make it work. And it was stupid aboves. Well, I told you I screwed it up. I don't understand Discord roles and permissions there. And I understand the Windows stuff. I can do the Windows, permissions and all that. Not a problem. Discord makes no logical sense to me. Gives me a headache right in the center of my brain. Every time. Anytime I thought I had to go into the deep settings of the server, turns out I only had to click. Yeah. That was what was wrong with the vertical streaming thing. It was one stupid little checkbox. One stupid little checkbox. Uncheck the box. And it's not like the box was set, like if this box is checked, your stream will crash every time you go to start it. Anytime. It said something totally unlike that. It's not like it said, if this is clicked, your shit's going to crash. It was not checked. It did not say that. It said something very innocuous and very helpful, that if this box is checked, when you click start streaming in OBS, these two streams will start too. So I checked that. And I would start the first YouTube stream and it would work. I'd start the second one and OBS would crash every time. One, you know what? And I sent him the guy a message. I don't think he ever read it. If he did, he did not respond. And he's on. I guess he just decided, screw that guy. No, I'm sure they've been busy with issues to the plugin. But sadly, guys, I need to go. We're going to find somebody to raid real fast, and then I got to get going. I've got to go pick up my kids from school, and I think I am going to take a nap. I've had a headache ever since this morning, since the little school incident. And it won't go away. So I'm going to take something else for it and have a nap. Let's find somebody in the same category that doesn't have a whole lot of followers, that's been going for a while. Okay. Oh, that's a rerun. Never mind. Mr. Honeybees, yo, yourself. How are you? Welcome in. Sadly, I'm about to raid out. Where were you an hour and a half ago? No, I'm sorry. Kidding. I'm kidding. Trying to find somebody that's been on for more than a few minutes. That oh, here we go. This is a good one. Talking to police. Oh my God. Okay, so you're talking to the cops and watching me stream? For real? Oh, an hour ago you were talking to the police. Do I want to know why you were talking to the police? Should I know? Should I know why? We're going to raid someone I've never raided before. Rating her because she looks pretty. Peach Plum. We are rating her. She is just chatting at the moment. I might have found someone to take my shift Sunday. Oh, sweet. Okay. Because I had decided that if you couldn't make it, I was going to show a different movie. Just saying. Anyway. Anyway, girlfriend broke up with me and was talking to someone about if they were worried about. Oh, man. Oh, for real? Oh, you shouldn't have said that because now I want to help, but I have to go. Oh, she's been on for 2 hours. Okay. I will be streaming tomorrow. Come back tomorrow, starting at 10 a.m. Eastern time. Come back tomorrow and let's discuss it. Okay. I'm real good at listening, and I love to give out relationship advice. Just ask Alpha. He is a better man today. He's a better man today because he met me. No, and thank you for that follow. Would you like a shout out? Let me give you a shout out. Boom, there's a shout out. Also, real quick, and then I've got to go. You get to pick a color. You get to add to the rubber band ball. Pick a color, and I'll put a rubber band on. You don't stream? Yeah, but it's a shout out nonetheless. What color would you like? I'm colorblind, so gray. Oh, shit. Actually, I have rubber band color. So that's pretty close. That's as close to gray as I can get. But, boom, there you go, my friend. Shout out and a rubber band on the rubber band ball. So I have got to get going. Please, Mr. Honeybees, come back tomorrow and let's discuss, if you want to discuss your issue. And I'll help talk you through it. Until then, we're going to raid each Peach Plum. She's just chatting. She seems very lovely. So, you guys enjoy. Hopefully she is entertaining. If not, I'll take the big L tomorrow. So don't go anywhere. I'm going to do the whole game over thing, and then we'll send it over to her. So guys, have a great day. Thanks for coming in. I hate that some of you came in later in the stream, but I will be back tomorrow, 10 a.m. Eastern. Hopefully you will, I'll see you all back here then. So see ya. Oh shit.